to upload some content. All right, so we've already seen a little bit about how we can, upload an attachment maybe to a syllabus, but our next activity is to take a look at the Sakai Resources tool. So what I'm going to do is go to my course site, then go to my Resources tool, and in fact I'm already there, so that's fine. So the Resources tool in Sakai is kind of part of every course, and it's basically where you can upload stuff. So I can't think of any other better way to say that. It's a place that has, you can create files, and you can create folders, and you can upload things, and you can even create HTML files. You can upload SCORM content if you have the SCORM player integration in your instance of Sakai. So this is where you put some stuff. Now, this exercise that I'm about to share with you is a very basic exercise, and it is not a super advanced and awesome use of the Resources tool. But I am going to show you how to upload some stuff. So through the exercise, what we're going to end up doing is creating a folder. Then we're going to upload a couple of files and put those files in the folder. Now, I'll share with you that if you have many files for your course, or if you're teaching, like, say, JavaScript 101, and you've got, like, a whole ton of files that you need to upload at one time, it's probably not going to be a good use of your time to upload those files one by one, in which case you may want to use this upload, download multiple resources function to set up a WebDAV connection, for those of you who are technical. Hey, Paul, I think I could hear you typing. Could you mute yourself? Thanks. So if you have a bunch of files, you could use this upload, download multiple resources function to create a WebDAV connection from your machine to Sakai, and basically just drag and drop a whole bunch of stuff into resources. But that is not what I'm showing you today. What I'm showing you today is something simpler, which is to just upload some files, or basically create a folder and upload some files. So first thing I'm going to do is within my Resources tool, select this Add function and choose to create a folder. So I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it Class Notes. Note that when I select Add Details for this item, I can choose whether I would like this folder to be publicly viewable or not. So you can actually make items public in Sakai, and Sakai kind of follows these rules where, like the children inherit the permissions of the parent. So basically anything you put into this folder, if you make it publicly viewable, is going to be publicly available. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to create the folder, and now I have a folder. So what I'd like to do at this point is put some stuff into the folder. Fortunately, in that zip file that you perhaps unzipped a little bit earlier today, you will find a folder called Class Notes and Study Guides. And this is just filled with some sample files. So if you'd like to practice, once you get to the exercise part of this activity, you'll be able to go ahead and select some of these files and upload them, which I'll demonstrate right now. So I'm going to access my Add menu, select Upload Files, click Browse. That's going to open up a window on my computer, and I can start uploading files. Now, I could upload these one by one, but actually you can upload up to 10 files at a time just by clicking this Add Another File link right here. So I'm just going to upload another, maybe 2, or how about 3? 3 sounds fine. There we go. A couple of files, and then you just click this button that reads Upload Files Now, and that's kind of it. So again, there are many other places in Sakai, such as the syllabus, where you can upload attachments or add attachments. But the Resources tool is the tool that's going to kind of house or organize all of those files once you have uploaded them. And then when you use that rich text editor that we saw earlier, like in the syllabus tool or wherever else that rich text editor might exist, you'll be able to point to or point your users to any file that exists in your course resources tool. So I am going to stop talking, and I am going to let you go ahead and get started on that exercise. And please remember to raise your hand once you're done and ready for us to move on. And at this point, I'll check in with Paul to see if there are questions about resources.
Yeah, let me, here's one right off the bat. The question was, instead of clicking Add Files for more than one, can we use the Shift multiple selection?
No, not in the, not if you're uploading files in the method that I just showed you. However, if you can get through the WebDAV instructions that are found in the upload, download multiple resources link, then you can use your Shift key to multiply select whatever you'd like from your machine and upload it to Sakai. Though if you have files that are large in size, it might be best to get up and go get yourself a cup of coffee or something while you're waiting for that to happen. Good question.
Another couple of quick questions. Can I add Flash scripts and other embeddable material gadget, like Google's or Yahoo's gadgets?
I'm not sure if I completely understand the question, only because I am not very technical with regard to how those gadgets function, so I can't say. What I do know is that the Sakai Rich Text Editor can and does write its own sort of embed Flash code for you, so you could use that. But you know, everything else we've tried to play in Sakai in the past, we've had to go find a player and embed, you know, the use of the player somehow into the code. I don't know if that totally answers your question, but that's I think as much as I can say about that.
Okay, here let's do one more real quick. Am I able to upload PNG files? I'm trying. They're having problems doing that, and then there's a second piece, using WebDAV to do this, but get a permission error when trying to copy PNG files to it.
Interesting. So the first answer to your question is yes, there should be no problem with .png files. Those are common image files. Secondly, if you are getting errors just on those files, thank you for that, because that sounds like there might be some sort of bug. So I can't solve that immediately, except to say see if you can try and upload those PNG files via the user interface instead of via WebDAV, and see if that works. But what I'll do is I'll write this down and send it to our tech folks once we're done with the webinar today, and see if there is something wrong with the PNG files. Thanks for that.
Okay.
Okay. I've only got a couple of hands up so far, so I think we need to give folks more time. So we'll go ahead and give you guys some more time to finish that exercise.
One more question. Using WebDAV, it won't allow me to drag and drop a .swf file from a package or as a package either. Any comments there?
No, that should not be a problem either. I'll check on that with our technical folks when we check on the .png issue. The .swf is just a Flash file, so that really should not be a problem at all. In fact, well, actually though, let me think about this for a second. If the file size is greater than 1 gigabyte, or if the total size of all files that exist in resources exceeds or attempts to exceed 1 gigabyte, you will get an error. So there are some size limitations. Also, if you're uploading content via the user interface, there is a 20 megabyte limit to any single upload action. Now, these are values that rSmart has set on this training instance because so many people use it. We have to have some limitations, otherwise we would just run out of space. On your school's implementation of Sakai, you might not experience any of these problems.
There was a question, since we're on resources, that asked where you could link the resources from. Where do people usually do that? Maybe in the assignment tool, or?
Great question. So kind of from everywhere. Let me show you how to do it. Okay. Well, first let me say that nearly every tool that exists in your course has a rich text editor. So, like if I were to go to the announcements tool, for example, I'm showing this on my screen. So if you want to watch what I'm doing, you're welcome to go back to the GoToWebinar screen and watch. But so I'm using the announcements tool as my example, and as you can see here, I get this same rich text editor when I go to create an announcement. And so if I would like to link to an item in resources, I basically perform the same function that I would to create a link to an external site, right? I create some text for the link, and then I highlight that text, and then I select this little link icon. And last time I did this, when I just typed in a URL and created a link. But if I click Browse Server at this point, what I'm going to see is a list of all of my resources for this course. So this just lets me pick any of the files and, maybe have it open in a new window or something like that. And that allows me to link to something that exists in resources or sort of embed that thing or that item into an announcement. So you can do this in the announcements tool. You can do this in the calendar tool, in the forums tool, pretty much any tool where you use a rich text editor. I've seen a lot of instructors provide links to resources from the assignments tool. That way they can have kind of one spot to sort of house their assignments, and of course the students can browse through the resources tool and find those assignments, and then they're also linked via the assignments tool, and it's just kind of nice to have those things available pretty much wherever your course any place in your course where you're using that rich text editor. Another thing you can do is you can actually, and I'm not asking anyone to follow along or actually do this right now, but what you can do in your own personal workspace is create a folder and call it like a public folder. Make these items publicly viewable, or make anything in that folder publicly viewable. You can actually upload stuff into your resources folder. I'll do that now, and link to it from your course. So as an instructor, you can have all the stuff that you used to teach in the resources tool in your My Workspace, and then you can point to it from all of your courses if you want. So I'll just show you an example of that right now. Let's say I want to create a calendar event, and I'm not feeling terribly creative about my calendar event today. There we go. And I want to link to something in my workspace. I can just go right back to this this embed link tool and click on my workspace, click on public folder, and link to that item. Good question. So I hope I answered that. Are there other questions before we move on to the next exercise? I see lots of hands up now, so I think we're ready to go.
Hey, Kara, just a quick question here.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to it. If I have a package zipped and unload it, it stays zipped. How do I get it to unzip once it's in resources, or do I have to upload each item in the package one at a time?
Good question. So if this is the SCORM package, then you can just upload that SCORM package using the upload content package function in resources. However, if this is a zip file and it's got within it, I'm guessing, like maybe an index.html start file and a whole bunch of other supporting files, that is something that currently does not unzip using the resources tool. Now, the resources tool is going to unzip stuff for you very helpfully at some point, but that function does not exist yet. So your only option at this time, I guess there's two, is to upload each item individually or use the instructions found in this upload, download multiple resources function to set up a WebDAV connection, and basically you can just leave that web content unzipped on your computer and drag it and drop it into Sakai using WebDAV. We do that pretty frequently with some of the online courses that we teach, like the Sakai certification course and the Sakai admin certification training and stuff. Like, we basically just drag and drop our Camtasia files, our Camtasia videos, like right into Sakai using WebDAV.